Hello and welcome to a very special YouTube video. Today in Jardin du Mayfair we'll be going to the beach because look behind us, we have the Daytona Beach collection. On this channel, we've had a few pinch yourself moments, and today is one of those. We have the entire Rolex Cosmograph Daytona Beach collection, the 116 519s in all their glory. This is the full set with the boxes and just incredible true history right here at Jardin du Mayfair. One of the often heard gripes about Rolex is that they're a conservative, boring, pedestrian choice for collectors who are afraid to stand out. That is absolute rubbish. Look here, case in point, these are true gems. Yes, they produce classic watches, but the candy hues of the Oyster Perpetual range are by no means the Crown's first foray into attention-grabbing dials. In fact, they were at it 50 years ago. In the 60s, Rolex were fitting hard stone dials to day dates, such as lapis, jasper, coral, ammonite, and even fossil dials which were nicknamed Jurassic. These dials were often found on watches made for Middle Eastern markets. In the 70s and 80s, the stellar lacquered dials came to the scene and took things to a newer, even brighter level. These dials were designed to go with the dapper boys about town. They were an absolute riot of high gloss colour, but the world wasn't ready for Rolex to turn up the disco. So they were poor sellers, and Rolex actually ended up destroying batches of stellar dials as they couldn't sell the watches. The market wanted more conservative. Funny how times change, isn't it? But nonetheless, this makes an OG stellar dial a rare find indeed. In the early 2000s, colour made a comeback, albeit in a far more limited form. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you from Jardin du Mayfair the Rolex Cosmograph Daytona Beach Limited Editions. This is probably the wildest foursome we'll ever see. They are all white gold references, 116 519. Featuring vibrant turquoise, green cryosprays, pink mother of pearl, and yellow mother of pearl. The dials are insane. They all have lizard skin straps to match the dials, and an absolute icing on the cake, they all have straps matched with boxes and certificate wallets. As you know, green Rolex boxes and document wallets are the standard, so any departure from this, particularly in pink, turquoise and yellow, is super rare and super exclusive to these editions only. The Daytona Beaches were only ever produced with P, K or Y serials, so if you're looking at one outside that serial range, you're not looking at a Beach Daytona. Having all four together makes an absolutely bonkers collector's set. So before we start making box, paper and watch patterns like crazy paving, let's take a look at each dial individually. First up, the green dial, which is a higher value green variant of quartz. This is occasionally mistaken for imperial jade. The stone is said to bring good fortune and prosperity, something that you're probably going to need if you're a dedicated Rolex collector these days. The dial on this particular Beach Daytona is a gorgeous and very distinctive fresh apple green colour, which brings a sense of springtime. It's a real mood lifter. The Chelate, or more commonly known as turquoise beach, is the most flamboyant of the bunch, with a wet look turquoise dial that makes other similar hues look positively restrained in comparison. It's a wickedly bright and reflective blue. Rather than appearing ostentatious, it just looks like great fun. The red Daytona text above the lower subdial sets it off a treat. Tiffany Schmiffany, they say. The beach turquoise is the head turner and the OG. And now shifting towards the pastel palette, we have the pink and yellow mother of pearl beaches. Mother of pearl is the iridescent lining of a mollusk shell. It's found inside oysters and abalone, and it has been used to make jewellery as far back as ancient Egypt and the Ming Dynasty. It's a hugely popular material because of the way that it shifts and shimmers in changing light to reveal different tones and colours. Mother of pearl is made from a substance called nacre, which is the same material as an actual pearl. But rather than being an individual ball, the nacre used to make mother of pearl is found lining in the shell. It is named mother of pearl as the popular belief is that the nacre lined shells form the belly from which the pearls are produced. The pink mother of pearl of the Daytona is a soft, almost rose petal colour, which changes between silvery and pink as the light moves. It is really something special and has a warm, dusky, almost sunset vibe to it. By comparison, the yellow mother of pearl dial is reminiscent of hazy sunshine as it moves through golden tones before returning to an almost lemony colour when looking at it face on. One of my favourite things is that each dial uses oversized Roman numerals, and rather than loom at the centre of the hour and minute hands, they are finished with black enamel, which gives it a bit of additional readability, certainly against the paler mother of pearl dials. There is another interesting hidden feature here as well, in plain sight but hidden nonetheless. Each dial uses what's known as the watchmaker's 4. This is where the Roman numeral for 4 is replaced with 4 eyes to provide visual symmetry to the dial. This also gives it a symmetrical look at 8 o'clock. That is absolutely a clever design choice from Rolex, because using the correct numeral would lead to a lack of balance, and it could give you one of those I can't unsee it type issues with your watch. I think Rolex have really nailed the dials here. The hard stones offer bright and cheerful, infinitely more in-your-face colours, while the pastels are far more restrained. Restrained, however, will not appear in any description of these gloriously bonkers lizard straps. These things really pack a punch. You've got hot pink, sunshine yellow, apple green and turquoise lizard. These make the watches go from mere interesting dials to all singing, all dancing statement pieces. This is an inspired combination and really shows what Rolex can do when they put their mind to colour. I would love to see some more coming out in the future. So, the exclusivity and the vibrancy is not the only aspect that makes these Daytona Beaches both significant and ultra collectible. These watches were released with Rolex's caliber 4130, which was their first new movement in 50 years and their first in-house chronograph movement, full stop. Previously, they had been using the modified Zenith movements, but for the Daytona, with the new 4130 came better accuracy, better efficiency, and that is always a bonus. The 18-carat white gold cases on all 4 pieces are identical and follow the classic lines and proportions of the Daytona. The end-link fixings for the straps mean that both the removal of strap gap but also the lack of bracelet compatibility. But let's face it, the Beaches were made to sit on their lizard straps, and that's where they really shine. Those who have hunted the Daytona Beach sets state that they have found no evidence in sales records of anyone purchasing a complete set of all 4 at once from an authorised dealer. So it seems that these pieces were sold individually, with people collecting them like Pokemon. So, it's not unusual to see the full 4 together, featuring different sellers on the paperwork and indeed different lettered serials. Nonetheless, to see the fantastic 4 here all together is just a total pinch yourself moment. And of course here at Official Watches, these are available now. New viewers and loyal viewers alike, please do let me know in the comments what you think of the Rolex Daytona Beach collection. And thank you so much for joining us on another bonkers edition at Jardin du Mayfair. Now, that's all for it. I'm off to the beach. Guys, the views on the channel are going so well, but please do hit that subscribe button so I can keep this content coming.